How's it going, YWC? Guy on the internet who doesn't like reviews. It's WrestleMania weekend. Got a lot of wrestling to go through. And why not get started with a late Impact Wrestling review? And this Impact, like I said, every week is a slow, steady increase in quality. Yes, I know. I know. Impact's been bad over the past couple of months, years. Yes, I know there's been declines of it being bad, then good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good. But if you can do it for other companies, you should be able to do it for this company. Unless, you're just not really a wrestling fan, you're just a W fanboy. But for those of us who can stand through the bad times, and look, I don't blame you if you don't watch Impact when it's bad, because when it's bad, it's not, it's boring, and that's a whole different kind of bad. So I don't blame people if they don't want to watch it. But when it's good, when people say, a majority of people say, hey, it's gotten better, it's worth checking out, and you're still like, hey, that's where the problem lies. So this Impact, the main event, Moose versus Eli Drake, Case versus Case, an interesting concept, and we'll get to that in a little bit. So it starts off with the rematch from last week. Lashley versus Brian Cage. Lashley calls out Cage and says, look, you're the new guy here, and they always do this. You're the flavor of the month. They want to send the person against me because, I'm the measuring stick, and what you did last week was just a fluke. Wrong. Brian Cage ends up winning against Bobby Lashley, and this time he hits him with the drill claw. So back-to-back losses for Bobby Lashley and two really good showings. But this time it was a little bit more desperate from Bobby Lashley. He had low blows, did things out of his character, so you could tell that Brian Cage has been pushing Lashley to go to some, not I wouldn't say extreme lengths, but to something out of his means. But Brian Cage ends up getting the victory with the drill claw. Then you have, let's see right here. Oh yeah, Ali challenging Su Yung to a match. Su Yung comes out, and the interesting thing is Su Yung comes out by herself, and they have the match. And in between the match, Ali tries to go for her best super kick ever, and kind of awkward on that name because it's not the best super kick ever. Look, Brian Danielson, not Brian Danielson, but Christopher Daniels has the best moonsault ever. That shit's fucking beautiful. Ali's super kick is more like average at best. It should be like the bunny kick or alley kick. Like, it's a little bit of overselling the best super kick ever. Anyway, tries to go for the best super kick ever, and Braxton Sutter comes out, grabs her leg, allows Su Yung to hit Ali with the kendo stick, and she chokes out Ali with the kendo stick. So it's set up for redemption. Ali versus Su Yung, and probably some kind of specialty match. And you still don't know the relationship between Braxton and Su Yung because it's still a lot of distance there. It's like Braxton is admiring Su Yung, and Su Young's not really giving a fuck about what's going on. Then moving on, you get Rosemary challenging Taya to a Demon's Dance match. I don't know what that is, but assuming, just from the name, some kind of hardcore match, like a Monsters Ball type of match. Then you have Josh Matthews challenging Petey Williams to a match. Something tells me that this is not going to be a match. This is going to be like a Josh and Matt Sydal beating up Petey Williams, but if Josh Matthews goes in there and puts on a decent match against Petey Williams, and I don't expect him to win or whatever, but a decent match, wow, that would be something right there. Anyway, then you have KM telling Richard Justice, like, hey, you're the standby wrestler, we got a match for you, and tells him to go out, gets the people to play his music, and he cuts the commercial, they come back, and KM comes out and like, look, you're an embarrassment to pro wrestling. You're fat, you're ugly, you're this, you're that. And I would say these things to you. Like, KM was like killing him with the insult. He was like, I'll tell it to your back, but I only have a half a tank of gas in my car. He was just like like KM, when he's like in this type of role, this bullying role, this man is on it. Like the jokes just keep going. Yes, they're old, but for some reason they just connect. Maybe it's delivery. So out comes I think Follow Ball or whatever, because he's getting, yeah, out comes Follow Ball to make the save. And then the Dakota Lee comes out. And then Tyrus comes out. And Tyrus, like, Tyrus on the mic. On this particular night. Okay. His whole thing was like, he was like pointing out a kid in the crowd. He was like, hey kid, don't say that KM only accomplishment is him being a valet to a female. And like it was kind of funny, but then like when he ended, it's like Tyrus smash, no said. It's like, okay, you're really putting like two catchphrases in there that people really don't know, so pick one. And it was just awkward. You can tell it was something that Tyrus had gotten written for him, and it wasn't like off of the cuff where he kind of like excels. And it was just like, hey Tyrus, read this, get this shit over. And it didn't come out that well. And then it sets up for next week. Tyrus, Fala, and Richard Justice versus KM and the Cult of Lee, which it should be a decent match. And probably should see what Richard Justice can do, because he's a pretty good wrestler himself. See right here, Richard. Oh yeah, Eli Drake with the microphone. Eli Drake's on the microphone. Like, fucking go. Like, I was watching Impact like Thursday, just not getting around to the review, but I had a female over, and we were talking, and then Eli Drake came on, and immediately he starts hitting his stick, and she's like laughing and everything like that. And I'm like, man, this is how you know Eli Drake is captivating. He's making a casual viewer sit up and take notice of what he's saying, especially when he hits the catchphrase like, let me talk to you, the big old goose egg, and just his mannerisms, and he just draws you into the camera. Look, he's not The Rock. Look, nobody's The Rock. But he's in that same vein as The Rock. He's a very captivating, charismatic guy who's decent in the ring. Like The Rock was no like 5-star technician, headlock submissions, ankle locks, into breakable locks. No, The Rock, his bread and butter was on the mic and getting you to look at him on the camera. Hence the same thing with Eli Drake. Eli Drake, he looks like a star. He sounds like a star. Same thing with The Rock. So in the same vein as The Rock. He's on TNA, knows on that camera. Shut up. Then you have Ishimori versus Johnny Impact. And this was interesting because essentially you have a cruiserweight versus a heavyweight. Yes, I know 205. But in New Japan and other places, like under 2 something. I think under 220 or cruiserweight. But anyway, Ishimori, that guy, he's good. Johnny Impact's good. The match was really good, especially when you think about their different styles. Different styles, yeah. Ishimori is more of a power, I would say power cruiserweight. Just look at the guy. The guy's fucking jacked. Like, you don't see too many Japanese guys. Like, he's short, but he's fucking huge. And Johnny Impact is all, what's the word I'm looking for? Finesse. He's all finesse. So it's different styles, but in the end, Johnny Impact gets the victory with the Starship Pain, and out comes Jimmy Jacobs and Congo Kong. Congo Kong attacks Johnny Impact. Johnny Impact does eventually get the one-upsmanship with the plancha, and Congo Kong gets called out by Jimmy Jacobs. So at Redemption, we'll probably get Congo versus Johnny Impact. That should be a pretty good match. Then moving on past that, let's see. Oh yeah, one of the best parts of the show, you had this little promo segment where they were talking about El Patron and Austin Aries. Austin Aries, basically his whole thing was, look, I left the company, and when I left, people were just still talking about my world championship. That's the only time people really felt like the company was, up there, and I got a lot of things to prove. People felt like in WWE, I wasn't, I didn't take advantage of opportunities, and things happened. and it was my fault, and I'm here to pretty much, see above that, and prove people wrong that I'm still the man. Despite my size, I'm a main event player. You can't overlook me because I have all this talent and all that. And then you have El Patron, who's in this, in this storyline. He's supposed to be the bad guy, but from his story, you kind of sympathize for him. He's like, I come from Mexico. I only had one shot, one opportunity to really get where I am, so I have to be good. I'm the best. I say I'm the best because I am the best. I do things that most people don't do. I've been in spots that most people haven't been. Been in big stuff. Been doing this all my life, and with this company, I came here to make a change, but they pretty much fucked me over, and I hate this company. Going back to the whole Page thing where Page attacked him drunk, but everybody in the YWC blame, oh, you attacked Page while drunk. But when the truth came out, he was pretty much the innocent one. But nobody really gave him, like, hey, it's okay, you did the right thing. But instead, he got his title script. He pretty much got screwed out of opportunities. And you can understand where he's coming from, where he hates the company and why he sees himself as the world champion, because he never lost it, and the way he lost it or got it taken away was under bullshit circumstances. So you really do feel for him, even as a bad guy in this situation, because it's a situation that anybody can fall under. So I'm really looking forward to this match. Then you had the Rewind, Jay Lethal versus Kurt Angle, classic. Even with the black machines on shit, like that's one of Jay Lethal's like worst gimmicks, but it's like one of the ones that made him famous. But he was still wrestling really good matches. Then you have I'm not gonna talk about the LAX Clubhouse shit because it's just stale as shit. Like, let's be honest. Then you had Eli Drake versus Moose for the world tag for both of the briefcases basically. This was good, especially like Moose like no selling Eli Drake's punch and telling him like that's all you got, and like just pretty much being like that Hogan type of shit. That's bad something, but being that strong babyface type of character that you gotta give me all you got. And in the end, like when Moose is trying to go for what are you trying to go for? You're trying to go for some kind of movement. Out comes OVE. They attack Moose because the OVE said they're going to attack everybody that Eddie Edwards loves, starting with Moose, or just that's just an assumption. Moose, they said they're going to attack everybody that Eddie Edwards loves. So they attack Moose. Out comes Eddie, who makes a statement on Moose with Sami Callihan. Moose takes care of the Chris brothers, and then Eli Drake picks up Sami Callihan's back, beats up Moose, goes for the pin, 1-2. Moose kicks out due to the ref, still being injured from catching a game-changer clothesline from Moose. And then Eli Drake just proceeds to pick him up and hit the gravy train. And Eli Drake has not one, but 2 cases: the Tag Team Championship and the World Championship, which is in a way surprising because let's look at Eli Drake since he lost the World Championship. He lost it in like a couple of seconds, and he's kind of been on the back burner, as you will. And everybody thought they've been getting behind Moose, this big push and everything, and just like that, Moose has nothing. He doesn't have a world title shot. You would think, hey, now they're gonna get behind Moose, world title shot. Gave him the case. Wrong. He has nothing. I mean, besides if they put him in the S division, which again could be an interesting dynamic. I know I talked about Brian Cage versus Matt Sydal, but Moose versus Matt Sydal, that's also interesting. So there's got to be a reason why they took the case off of Moose and gave it to Eli Drake. There's got to be something, and it's kind of like not relevant. It's kind of redundant to say that Eli Drake's going to be a world champion again, because just based off his character, conniving, smart, he's going to pick his opportunity, and when the opportunity comes, he's going to be a world champion. So the only surprise to me would be who's going to be his tag team partner. Who are they going to bring in? Who are they going to bring back to be with the unstoppable Kavorka, the man who just can't stop, the man with all the charisma, Eli Drake. It's got to be somebody. It's got to be somebody on that same kind of like level to like match Eli Drake. You just can't put him with Jabba One and be like, oh yeah, Eli Drake and Jabba One, that's a tag team. No, it's got to be somebody that has like a really good personality or like really smooth in-ring skill. So this Impact is leading to me to bigger things. Like I'm really excited for next week, especially like that Demons Dance match between Taya and Rosemary. Yes, they've done it like a whole bunch of times, but I'm still excited. It hasn't worn out its welcome to me. To me, it still hasn't worn out its welcome. And Redemption is shaping up to be a really good pay-per-view. The main event, Austin Aries versus Alberto. That might be a show stealer. And Petey Williams versus Matt Sydal. That could go either way. Still don't have anything for the tag team championships. I don't think the women's championship, Su Yung versus Ali, that's been a good build. And then you got probably Richard versus KM, so that'd be Richard Justice's first thing. So Redemption was leaning up to being a pretty good show if they keep the momentum going. So go ahead and cut this video off and start watching Lucha versus Impact, review on that, and then we all know what's happening at around 8 o'clock. NXT TakeOver New Orleans. Damn, other show I need to watch. Oh yeah, damn show is it's ROH Super Card of Honor. But if I see like an upload of that, but sometimes that takes like a couple days, so I might not be able to do that one until after Mania. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.